guys, welcome back to Everyday Sheck Wes and Nadeska Akademiks, and Wayno here. We're starting late because he was late as always, so I'm just gonna let Wayno get the jokes off real quick so we can get into this episode.
I wish we could have just started the episode when this nigga walked in here because he looks like a fucking superhero today. Like I just seen blue and red come by. I didn't know what was going on.
And you got hair on your face.
That could mean a lot of things.
Can I take the hair off your face?
What could it mean?
I'll be sleeping in the car.
I have a white hoodie with a red sweater with a white hoodie.
You guys see this close up? You see this?
Could you grab it, nigga? The fuck?
You got cat hair on your beard?
All right,
I don't got cats. I don't fuck with animals.
Where's the snake at?
Well, that's a different.
Yo, that shit is dead. I promise you it's dead.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on
All right, you want
Instagram,
to come do
so I don't believe it.
I'm not coming to do nothing.
All right, I'm gonna bring it on set. You can be our fourth guest.
You can't even get yourself to set. You gonna bring up the fucking snake to set.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. Let's get into the show, you guys. So last week, Wale... I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Last week, Wale released his 6th album, Wow, That's Crazy. Follow-up to 2017 album, Shine. 15 songs, guests like Megan Thee Stallion, Pink Sweats, Ari, Lennox, Bryson Tiller, plus we hear Ross, Meek, and Wale on a song again. It's like the first time since he dropped Ambition back in 2011 that they've both been on one of his projects together. What'd you guys think of this project?
What I think about it, Wale is good to say he's still as good as he's ever been. Mm-hmm. Like rapping wise, I think that he's as good as he's ever been. It seemed like now he's a little bit more in control. Not like he wasn't. I don't feel like even with the MMG years, like he wasn't in control. It just seemed like he made music that kind of tried to fit that brand. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he's just doing everything he wants to do. Like the intro, Sue Me, that's my favorite joint. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems that like where he's at in his career, he's comfortable. I mean, aside from his antics, he still makes like great music, and I think that he's just as good as he was from the first time we heard him.
And he's talking about a lot of that stuff in the music, right? Insecurities,
Absolutely.
dealing with the fame, some of the criticisms he receives, of course, for like, sharing too much, talking about dealing with therapy, all that kind of stuff.
Touches a bit on alcoholism. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think like Wale's always been like very honest. I think his delivery is what misconstrues his music. Because he says a lot of the right things. Like, you know how Dame Dash, like people always give Dame Dash a lot of flack, and they say he says the right things, just how he delivers it. I think that's how Wale is, like, in contrast to his music. It's like he just delivers it a certain way that makes people be off him, but if you really sit, don't worry about that and listen to his music, it's nothing that you can say anything about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like undisputable when it comes to making music.
I thought it was okay. It's a cool project. I don't think it's like messing with like his early projects like The Gifted or Album About Nothing or even the tape More Than Nothing. But I thought it was cool. Like the Sue Me joint, it leaves a lot to be desired when you hear that shit first. That shit's fire.
Yeah.
That's a great way to intro an album. The joint with Ari Lennox as well, that shit was crazy. That nigga Boogie's disgusting. He killed it.
Absolutely.
Black also did his thing. He floated on expectations. I think towards the end of the album, I was like, okay. But I thought it started off great. Yeah. So, I think it's a pretty good effort, compared to his last project where I think he was a little bit more experimental on the type of...
Seemed like a throwaway a bit.
No, I don't even think it was. I think he was kind of experimenting. That was when the Afro beat wave was kind of going on. He did a song with Dip Flow. He of course was going back to his roots a little bit too. And I think that was kind of him seeing what was working. He was like, oh, I've been doing this in certain capacities. Right. Let me throw this in there. And it wasn't received as well. I think this was more his lane. There's a lot of pandering on this motherfucker, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Pander.
I swear I knew Ak was gonna say that. God. I swear I knew Ak was gonna say that.
But
why do you think it's? But real quick, why do you think it's pandering?
I think he knows his demographic. I think he knows his demographic, like even the first joint, But I think that one is like cool. I think when you go through and you hear the theme, it's more like, yo, ladies, we love you. Okay, you get it, we love you. It's like a loaded theme. It's kind of like when you listen to a Logic album.
No, come on.
No. I said it's a loaded theme.
All right, all right.
Great, we get what you kind of rap about, but like, it's like same with Chance. 12 tracks and be like, damn, nigga, like, we get it.
You love your wife.
Yeah, we get it. But it's a cool album. It's not like trash, you know what I mean?
No, it's not trash at all.
Yeah.
I think that Wale, like, and when you look at Wale's career, 10 years, over 10 years, and now we in 2019.
Yeah, the first album came out 2009, Attention
Yeah,
Deficit.
2009. I mean, the first time I heard him was around like 07, 08-ish,
Yeah.
right? To see that he's still, because it's tough to last that long. I mean, it's tough to last that long, but I think like in terms, now he hasn't, I can't even say that he hasn't risen like his peers because he's had like very, very great moments in his career, but I think that where he's at now is just like a nice coast. Like, he has his respect, he has his integrity, and he gets to make the type of music he wants to make that we expect from Wale. Like, even with the On Chill record, it's like, he always finds a way to make one of those, you know? So I think, like, he'll be good.
I also like the collaborations he picked a lot. I like that Pink Sweats is on this, like Ari's on this. Remember he had SZA on the last project that was before she dropped Control, before everyone wanted a SZA feature. Like,
Right.
he knows what he's doing. I think it's a pretty great, cohesive album.
And the little Dirk feature kind of like threw me off, but it went together.
It never feels forced.
Well together, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's building back. Again, I don't know if it's label issues or whatever that, of the last couple of years. And I think, some personal stuff probably as well. I think this felt like he's building back to, perhaps a place he was in the game. So I thought it was a pretty decent effort.
Gotcha.
All right.
Why y'all looking at me like?
Because you're mad bright, nigga. Like, I can't help but look at you. Like,
That's not it.
yeah.
She gets mad nervous anytime Wale's name is mentioned. She's like, come on, man, just chill. I'm like, even when I say something good.
What are you talking about? Because sometimes you're definitely petty, that's all.
No, I'm not petty. Why would I be petty with Wale?
Anyway, what's good with you today? What are you doing?
The change of subject.
Why are you dressed like
He
this
gotta be
today?
filming something.
I want to know what's
today.
good. Yeah,
He's filming
what?
something.
The outfit's a lot today.
Listen.
This nigga came in here dressed like a
Just
wrestler.
try to change the subject. Listen, I'm a pro now too. It's a nice little segue. Let's get it off of. We got the compliments in. Let's not get no more critique. Let's go.
No, I said that we can't critique. If you guys have seen Wale and the history of the show, you know how that shit goes. You're a little extra sometimes.
Yeah, but like, listen, nobody's here to like dick ride nobody. Like, so I might give you some props, but then I got to tell you what I feel in terms of criticism. If any artist can't handle that, I don't think they're equipped for the music business.
Anyway, congrats on the album, Wale. We're going to get into our Fast Break segment. So today's Fast Break artist is NLE Choppa, 16 years old from Memphis, Tennessee. So he actually launched his career last year under the name YNR Choppa, and he dropped his first mixtape, No Love, The Takeover, under that name. Earlier this year, I believe back in January, he dropped his breakout single. It's called Shot of Flow. So that was certified platinum back in June. Same month, he dropped a remix to the song with Blueface on it, over 95 million views on YouTube. And according to Billboard, success from that single is actually what started a bidding war over him between the major labels, but he reportedly turned down a few multi-million-dollar offers and eventually signed a distribution deal with United Masters instead. His most recent single is called Camelot. That one came out in September. It's already his second top 40 hit. All right, what's the temperature on NLE Choppa?
I ain't gonna lie. The first couple months, I was like, yo, this nigga's an industry plant by United Masters. And salute to them, but I felt like they were pushing him a lot. And we were seeing him in places that I didn't think his music, or at least one single, warranted him to be. Now, after 15 remixes of that same single, also, great social media presence, and also this new track, Camelot, which is also going crazy. In addition, I think he signed to a major now. Yeah. I 100% believe the tide is turning in terms of him heating up, and I think he's one of the more promising young artists. Will he be able to sustain it for another year? Don't know. But he's from Memphis. I had an opportunity to meet him. Very interested, because he raps about a lot of the gangster stuff. When I met him, super polite. He was with his mom and dad and his girlfriend. I was like, oh, this is great. But what that told me, and having conversation with them, is like, all the things that happened in his career thus far, even though he's 16, happened by design. Like they pretty much used every avenue available to either get a buzz or get some type of traction. And I was really even having that conversation with them in terms of, I feel like it's easier, and I still believe that's true, for an artist if they're from New York to pop off. It's easier if an artist is from LA to pop off. But we've seen a lot of these niggas from like Memphis, places where there's no real media, And like these states kind of like just, we see a Moneybagg Yo pop off. We see a Black Youngster. We see him. And I do think it's about not only their work ethic, but kind of like how they finesse the game probably different than artists that's from like these bigger markets. And I give them a lot of credit. You know, so in a year's time, that song Camelot, like in 2 weeks, at least I was doing the numbers and looking at it, it's like eligible for gold already. He's on fire right now.
Yeah. I mean, NLE, like, he's a personality. Like, he's a really big personality. He was getting a lot of like NBA YoungBoy comparisons. I think that's just because they kind of look similar. They like got the same hair. Like if you squint in your eyes, you can't tell who's who. Like seriously. But he got out of that. Like he got out of that. But with in terms of Memphis, I think Memphis is one of the biggest rising markets for new artists. I mean, I wouldn't agree that artists in New York pop fast. I think artists from Memphis are popping a little bit faster. There's a lot of Memphis artists from him, Action Pack AP, you got Juicy Fruit. While they don't have labels down there, I don't know what's in the fucking water down there, but they producing artists at a high rate and they getting going really quick. But Choppa, I think he stands out. Like he stands out from, you know, even like the Key Glocks, Dolphs and everything. He's a very energy driven dude. He kind of reminds me a bit of like a young Flocka. Young Waka Flocka, you know what I mean? Because a lot of his music is like, I don't know how to, there's not a genre for it. Like, you know how we have drill, and then Waka had like, I wouldn't call Waka's music drill, but it was like this high-ass energy trap type music. He has like some of his own shit with how they use the drums and all of that, but the kid is very, very energetic. It's interesting to see what he's going to do going forward. I like him, though. I like him, because I like his personality. Yeah.
He also broke down, I think, you know, there's a, you know, when we think of Memphis artists, you know, you do think of, like, of course, the Dolphs and Key Glock, and you think of even Black Youngster, Yo.Gotti. But then, you know, like, I had the opportunity to sit down with him for On the Sticks, and he was telling me, like, he does a lot of that dancing shit, too.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, at first, like, mainstream people were a little confused, like, yo, it's kind of like you're just kind of ripping people up. We already think you're on some young boy shit. Now you doing some Block Boy JB shit. It's like, nah.
They dance.
It's like, yo, the new young kids that's coming out of Memphis, that's how they give it up, you know?
Yeah,
like,
they all dance. Yeah.
They all dance. So, you know, I think that type of fun shit is kind of almost like making, not that they even went anywhere, it's making a comeback like in just hip hop, like, especially for the youth. You see even the New York hip hop, you know? Like the gangsters who could dance, it's lit.
The gangsters who can
I'm
dance.
serious.
I mean, dancing has always been prevalent in hip hop. You know what I mean? Since the fucking 80s.
Nah,
like,
but
you know what I mean?
it was a time where like the tough niggas was just
Early 2000s.
Mean mug and just lean back or two-step. Now they are fucking doing the most. They're light on their feet, bro.
Early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was a no dancing from like the street shit. But like, I like the fact that they mix the dance shit with their music because it makes it go up a little bit more. Like, imagine Look Alive without Block Boy JB doing them dances.
Yeah, not the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. I mean, it wouldn't be the same. But salute to NLE Choppa.
All right, so on the flip side now, we do have a contender for On the Clock. So you guys know Sheck Wes, he had the track Mo Bamba. It was a huge record for him. It actually dropped in 2017, but went crazy viral last year. We know Wayno is a big fan. He was playing this shit like every morning. So that was a number.
I thought Wayno was trying to plan that nigga in there.
What?
That was like, I've never heard this fucking song Wayno keep playing every day.
Oh.
Like,
I had no business ties to Sheck Wes. I just liked the record.
I don't know, man. These days,
Have you ever gotten to hear it live? Like see him at a show or
course, it
something?
wasn't
People
live.
go crazy.
No.
He's been out a couple times
no,
this year.
like, no disrespect to Sheck Wes, but why would I go to a Sheck Wes show?
Okay, you don't have to go to his
Sheck Wes
show. Anyway.
Oh,
They-
like
they
in a
just-
club?
they just
yeah,
play it
they
out.
play in a club. Like, yeah, that shit lit. Oh, I thought you meant like go to a Sheck Wes show. Like, don't put me in a position that I gotta be like, I don't go to the show. Come on now.
Whatever, my
Yo,
nigga.
all right.
Are you going to Sheck Wes show?
As I was saying, listen, doesn't matter. So anyway, it's the number 6 record for him on the Billboard Hot 100, over 263 million views on YouTube. So last October, he dropped his debut album, Mudboy. That was a number 17 debut on the Billboard 200. He's, of course, signed with Travis Scott's label Cactus Jack, Good Music, via Interscope. So this year, he released a couple more songs. He's been featured on some things, performed at Rolling Loud, but he hasn't really had a big follow-up to Mo Bamba. So would you guys put him on the clock? In terms of good music, late last year he did tweet, I wish Kanye was more involved in my career. I don't know what he's getting into.
Wait,
seems like
to Cactus Jack and good music through Interscope. That sounds like one clusterfuck of like niggas just passing the ball.
Signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to three.
Yeah, you sounded like 3 different groups, and they probably all be like, nigga, you do that. No, you do that. No.
Well,
you
2 out of those 3 aren't bad. Travis
Nah, I
seems
don't think
invested. I'm sure Interscope is invested.
Yeah.
Good
Has
music
Travis
though is always.
popped off anybody on that label yet?
Sheck.
I mean, where's the Travis and Sheck song? Did I miss it?
Yeah, I don't think they have any.
If I
records
sign to a
together.
rapper, and I have a big hit by myself, like Designer shit. Well, of course, Designer got the remix with Kanye. Nigga, if I don't get a goddamn feature from you,
But
like
he had
soon,
Timmy Turner with Kanye too. Remember that was in the remix.
Wait, was
Remember
Kanye on that?
Yeah, Kanye's on Timmy Turner, the official song.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so
Wow.
you think that's the problem, that he's missing a Travis feature?
No. I'm just looking at the label situation you just read out, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's not really a surprise to us, though. We know that being on good music is not a look for a young artist, right?
Well, I mean, also his statement as well is very telling. If you're feeling, I wish Kanye was more involved, you probably were under the impression when you first signed that he was gonna be.
Well, that was a
involved,
mistake.
right? So I mean, other than his label situation, all right. So the song Mo Bamba drops.
Then he had Live Sheck Wes, right? That one did okay too.
That was first. Yeah, that was before Mo Bamba.
But I feel like they were, because people like Mo Bamba blew up.
Yeah,
and
then
I
they
feel
went
like,
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like supporting that a bit.
And he had Chippy Chippy. That was another one.
I got a theory about, like, he's from New York, right?
From Harlem.
I got a theory about New York artists.
Right.
I got a theory. I feel like they all need like a PR group. Like they all need, like, I've seen mad other niggas with one song do and last longer than I've seen New York artists with like one song. Like, and I got 4 names off the top of my head. And really it's because the song gets way bigger than them.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, for the most part, the casual listener don't even know how these niggas look. Sheck Wes with Mo Bamba.
Okay.
That song moves everything. I don't think people really know him.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a Sheck
song
Wes
is-
interview. Like, truth be told.
I don't think he does interviews. I mean, this is a new age where this is what I never understood. Artists who
Gotta
catch
be
a wave, right? Yeah, artists who catch a wave don't promote the music. And I have seen Sheck do content before, but like you said, I haven't seen an interview where you really get to know him or his story. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead, finish. My fault.
Listen, a lot of times I feel like people buy into the song, but if the song's bigger than you, now you're trying to catch up them also buying into you. We live in a fucking social media era. Like, it's like, do you make good music is one half of the pie, or let's say 60%. The other 40% is like, yo, nigga, do we fuck with you?
Yeah.
And if we don't know you, it's like, unless you got a hit record, we don't want to hear nothing about you, right? So, and you're not always gonna hit with a Mo Bamba, right? So, and the people who I thought fell victim to this was, he's one of them, Flip De Niro. Like, Flip De Niro had a fucking smash. Where's that?
Smash, yeah.
Like, fucking smash. I'm like, oh shit, he about to run New York. And I haven't heard anything else. I didn't see him do any content during that time. And I'm watching the wave right now with Pop Smoke. Because I believe that record is starting to take off. Got a Nicki feature. It's going. But don't be the person that just think, yo, I'm just showing up to these clubs, collecting these bags, and I'm not going to invest in letting people know me because I want to have a long-term career.
Yeah.
Because that wave comes and goes too quick these days.
The difference I see between New York artists having hit records and other artists from different regions having hit records, they have like a lot of artists from other places have like multiple records. Like you have it, we can't get too used to just the one record. And I feel like everybody in New York feels like once I got one, I'm gonna just go with this. And like Young M.A., like, you know, like she said, it was a lot for her when that record popped. And then we didn't hear we didn't get another record like a Big until 3 years later. I think that a lot of artists here just don't capitalize off of the momentum they get to put out other bangers. Now, they do drop other shit, but I don't think that they even make shit up unto that standard. Only one I could say, other than like, of course, Cardi is fucking lightning in a bottle. That shit don't happen every day. But I say like Boogie. Boogie has joints. even French, like for all the shit that's happening recently with French, where we might not be into every single record he's dropping, he could do a show and got joints, back-to-back joints. A lot of the new guys get one record and they content with that. Right. Club bag runs, running up through like Boston, all that other shit, but not like making anything that goes anywhere else.
Yeah, I think when I was talking about New York artists compared to like other areas, I think that's maybe what it is. Once they start that little club run, they never stop. Like,
Right.
and of course, it's attractive. Like, if every night of the week you go get like 20 grand or whatever the amount of money they're giving you because you have that hot record, like, why the fuck would you do some other shit?
But I don't think that's with Sheck Wes, because Sheck, even though Sheck is a New York artist, he's not a club run artist. Like, I mean, he spends a lot of time with Travis. This nigga be in Virgil Off-White or Louis Vuitton fucking fashion shows and shit.
I think he's on his like model. Like,
Yeah.
he
was a model first though.
Right. So when he did press around the album, I remember him doing some interviews. He did like Pitchfork. Then he did like the Interview magazine. So he's like done press, maybe just not traditional.
Yeah.
And then whatever the fuck happened between him and I forgot the name of the young lady. Is it
Justine
Skye?
Yeah.
I think it definitely set him back and changed a lot of perception about him. And again, just not having that record in the midst of the fucking storm to just be like, okay, but listen to this. You know, so like I feel like he's needed one. And if it was a time that like in any artist's career, I'm like, yo, you got to drop one right now to either change the tide or continue the wave, he's on the clock right now.
You know what? He's on the clock too. But I don't think like, I think that he could bounce back. You know, I don't think he's in a bad space. I think he's in a really good space, but you got to give up something. Like we got to get something new to remind us of why we liked you. Right. You know, from that the 2 records that you dropped that we really fuck with.
Man, he better go look at my nigga OT Genesis as soon as the
OT stay with one.
Oh, he says, oh y'all forgot?
Right.
wait, my Crip walking on the gram is not enough?
Right.
Say less.
OT stay with at least 1 or 2 joints a year, like.
Oh, and another thing too, when he dropped, was it an EP? Was it an EP?
Last the album, yeah.
It was an album?
I guess it was an album.
Okay, all right, so it was an album, right? Like, I said this when I was reviewing it then. I said the song's already big, the album should be pretty much attempt at developing a core fan base. And that fan base be keeping you to weather the storm. I didn't feel like he accomplished that then, and I think this is where it comes back around, where it seems quiet. Right. When, I don't know if he's putting out music, I didn't check, but if you had that core fan base, you at least keep the little lantern on a little bit,
right?
You know?
But
he's not done. You just got to drop a hit.
He got to drop something, but he's on the clock.
The lantern. Got to keep the lantern on. All right, say so.
You know, Superman shows a Green Lantern from time to time.
All right, our next story is music tangentially related. I don't know. All right, so there's an actress by the name of Gina Rodriguez. She stars in the show Jane the Virgin, which I believe is on CW. So she's getting a lot of heat for a clip she posted where she's rapping along to the Fugees, Ready or Not. But she's rapping Lauryn Hill's part where she uses the N-word. People got really pissed off. So she eventually did delete the video. And then she posted a video apologizing. She said, I just wanted to reach out and apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anyone by singing along to the Fugees, a song I love that I grew up on. I love Lauryn. And so on. Some people felt the first apology was not sincere, so she posted another one. She said, in song and in real life, the words that I spoke should not have been spoken. Thoughtlessly sang along to the lyrics of a favorite song, and even worse, I posted it. The word I sang carries with it a legacy of hurt and pain that I cannot even imagine. Goes on to say that she has some learning to do. Do you guys think that this is...
Well, I can't imagine saying the N-word. Like, having to say the N-word.
I feel pretty stupid saying the N-word. But
niggas, right? But, you know.
What's the lyric?
What she said?
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
Silly niggas give me heebie-jeebies. Yeah. Why you imitating Al Capone?
Who the hell got mad at her?
I don't know.
Twitter, nigga.
Like, was it black people?
I think so.
Yo, niggas allow everybody to say.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. White. She don't look. But though, you know what's so funny? So the other day when I was at Post Malone, show, right? I'm sitting there, I'm on the floor, so I'm just watching all these kids. So I'm watching mad kids, like Funkmaster Flex was playing, like, I don't know where that came from, but he's playing a set. So he throws on fucking Act Up, right? So I'm watching all these little white girls. I'm like, I want to see this ass nigga.
Fuck about niggas.
I'm like, no, but look, I'm watching this one girl, she's like, real ass bitch, give a fuck about her. Yeah, she
she edited herself?
She edited herself.
shit.
Like, I seen mad kids. I'm dead serious, yo. Like, now, not of course, probably not the whole fucking 20,000 people that was in there.
Yeah.
But I was watching people to see if they was gonna say it. But like,
Wow. I'm
listen,
impressed.
Twitter decides what the fuck they gonna be mad at.
I got a picture of this shit. I gotta see.
Yeah, let's pull up the picture of her again.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I see more white people using this word nowadays more than black people. I ain't gonna lie to you. And yeah, white people mad at her.
Wait, who is she? What is she?
She's singing a lyric.
Roger,
I
where is she?
understand
She's
if
Puerto
she,
Rican?
Put the hard ER on it.
Is she Puerto Rican? Yeah, she said this word has caused so much turmoil.
Don't Cardi B say it?
Yeah, she is Puerto Rican. Her parents are Puerto Rican. Grew up
I
in
mean,
Chicago.
it's a very, like, I don't know. Different people deal with shit differently. Me, I grew up on the east side of Harlem around a bunch of Puerto Rican people. We come from the same. It's Puerto Ricans I grew up with that's darker than me, and I never thought of them saying nigga was a thing.
Right.
Now I think with Puerto Rican people, it's in the context it's used, but I never thought of nothing of that. Like,
Something's off of this story.
What?
Like, how did it sound? Because some people, nigga don't sound good coming off your tongue. You give me pause, but like,
You think it's just the way she pronounced it?
There's not one Puerto Rican I know that don't say nigga.
Yeah, I know. Same.
Me either.
If you grew up
And
in
say
New York.
niggas more than niggas.
Yeah, but it's different when it's just like people you grow up with and it's someone who's like famous and on a big platform like that. Also, she's had some other quote unquote issues in the past.
I'm not getting mad at this young woman until we figure out what the fuck, as a community, who could say it and who cannot. Because we can't be giving some Spanish people, be like, oh, if they're from the Bronx, it's all good. No, nigga. It's either, for real, like, if we ain't gonna ban every non-black person from saying it, don't get mad at this girl. She probably, if she had the balls to just be like, it's the same thing when, like, remember when Charlamagne asked 6ix9ine, was like, yo, you saying nigga a lot, bro. Like, he said, who gonna stop me? And everybody just said, nah, whatever, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's one of those things, people don't even care like that unless you're really using it with some
it depends on the
racial overtone.
context. Yeah, it depends on the But see, that's one, because white people can't say it at all. Like, you know what?
But they do.
But I ain't gonna front. You know, every white person that I've been around that said it, they slip that shit in. They try to slip it in so fast. Like, Paul, they try to say this shit so quick. Like, they be talking like, yeah, because niggas, you be like, you be bugging like, did he just say that shit? Like it really throw you off.
I know mad white niggas who say it.
To you, with you around?
No, they don't say it to me, but like they
Not directing it at you, but they say it in your presence and you don't say anything about it?
honestly, yeah. The fuck, women
It's
start.
cool if you're Spanish.
White people, wait, so white people use nigga around you and you.
First of all, I'm
what?
not. You want me to start squaring up with people?
No. I'm just
No,
asking.
but-
These are people like you know. Like none of my white friends say that shit ever in front of
it's
me.
actually, I was in the studio. I'm about to put homie on blast. I'm in the studio with this white dude works. He works with all black people. I don't know where he comes from, like whatever. But when I heard him having conversation, he dropped the word in there like mad times.
He said nigga. Stop saying he dropped the word. Like, the N-word.
You know what I mean? You don't have to say the
He
N-word.
said nigga a bunch of times, but again,
Wow.
he was just like, yo, yeah, them niggas was here last time.
Didn't strike you as odd.
No, it sounded like he said it all the time.
That's not the point.
Like,
I don't know. I don't hang with people. What?
And also, like, I'm telling y'all, if y'all gotta step outside as well, if y'all don't realize, I know mad white people who say nigga to each other. A lot. They don't call black people niggas now.
What? I don't know. I don't know them type of white people.
How was your son?
Oh no, my son has a friend who said nigga one time. I swear to God.
Yo.
And I stopped. So look, my son is 12. He was walking with his friend. He got this friend that lives around him, right? The kid is like 16. He chose my son, right? Kid's a football player. He big as shit. Kid bigger than me. And he was like, yeah. He said something. He's like, niggas. I said, hold up. I said, yo, watch your mouth. First, I told him watch his mouth, and I said, yo, y'all be letting him say this shit around y'all? And they just was like, I'm like, what you mean? Like, I don't, listen, this is the thing. I did not grow up around white people. Like, I did not grow up in a neighborhood where there was a lot of white people. As far as my peers, only white people I experienced as a child was teachers, police, and doctors or some shit. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up in an environment where white people were saying that shit around me or saying it to me. So if it's said to me with another white person, that don't sit well with me. Like, it don't sit well with me because I don't speak to them with that term of endearment. I just don't.
For the people who like watch the show, like if they're in college or high school, and I learned when I was at Rutgers, like I know, man, white people, Indian people.
Who would say this?
They say to each other.
Yeah, you know what?
And it's like, you know, like for white dudes or whatever, like bro, like instead of bro, like nigga just became the term.
But
one
you know
of
what?
the reasons is how popular hip hop got.
Absolutely.
You get me? I think if they're smart, you don't say to somebody black.
You know what they use
that word though.
You know when everybody use it until they don't? When it's time to be a nigga. I know, I'm not being dead serious.
I wonder if it's different with younger people. So the kids I knew, the white kids, friends I had from high school, people I grew up in who grew up just as much in rap culture as I did, never, not once in my entire 20 years of knowing these guys have they ever said that word in front of me. Or I've seen them say it to each other. It's like you guys said, all my Spanish friends growing up is different. Maybe it's a generational thing. Where there's a level of respect. I don't know. My white friends in New York don't say that.
Listen, I don't, but the thing is like, it's a lot of different, I mean, this is a very, very large conversation that we having that goes in a lot of different places. I'm just saying it's like Indian kids say nigga. I done been around Indian people with darker skin than me that treat me crazy. That done treated me crazy.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Most of the kids, the smaller kids, that grew up in a different generation, they want to be black. On some real shit, they want to be black.
That's cool until it's time to be black. Nobody don't want our listen. Everybody want our cool shit. Nobody wants our issues. The people don't want our fucking issues. People don't stand, and a lot of people don't stand with us on our issues. So that's why stop saying nigga, because you want to be a nigga when it's cool. It's not. It don't work that way. It don't work that way.
I feel like the use, especially just how I see people use it, is like, and just use it really informal in conversations, like they're removing the race out of it. Because I was confused. I'm like, wait, so the white dude just called the other white dude nigga? Yo, I'm tweaking. And then I realized, no, that's like, that word has now gotten a different meaning to them.
They ain't never dealt with a nigga issue in their life. So.
All right, so in closing, I guess, like you said, this is a big conversation.
It's a big conversation.
In her case, when you're a celebrity in a big platform where kids, probably, I assume kids watch your show if it's on the CW, different story. Can we say different?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
You're the fucking CW. I get it. Now I couldn't get it at first.
It's not on anymore? Wait, hold on. The show's done?
She basically on Disney.
It was on the CW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if it still was on, that show would be off tomorrow.
But yeah, when you have a young fan base, it's like you can't be like Hannah Montana and probably.
Of course, yeah, you can't be doing shit.
She basically like on Disney.
Right.
Okay. All right. Should we? I think we have time for a struggle mail question before we go. Let's see. There's so many artists in the music game right now. How do labels make their money off these artists when most of them aren't successful as they should be?
Well, I have an interesting perspective of that. Like, people from the outside's perception of how successful they think an artist should be, as opposed to how successful they are two different things. So it's like how they make their money. You don't have to go gold to make your money back. You know what I mean? First off, artists, most rappers are liars. So when they get deals, like, all a nigga got to do is be holding $4,000 in 20s and you think that he's rich. Not the case. A lot of these kids sign small deals and you recoup based on X amount of streams. Like, for a deal that's going to cost maybe around $30,000 to put in somebody's pocket, it's going to take maybe 20 million streams to get that money back. And then you look at somebody who has 20 million streams and you look at somebody else that has 150 million, you be like, damn, the label ain't making their money. Yes, they are. And even if they don't, the motherfuckers don't take losses. Labels could lose up to $30, $40 million and it don't affect their bottom line. So it's like, that shit is just buying property almost. Buy a bunch of it, and if one of them shits pop, we make some bread. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like with anything in life. All right, I signed you for this. I want to recoup. Cool. You drop a project. Okay. Depend on how quickly you recoup, you're gonna get another project out. You know, if a label, that's how artists get dropped. If a labels realize it's not profitable, like according to the contracts, you have to let them know that you're gonna renew for another project and you gotta pay out money. Yeah. If you don't want to pay out money or renew, nigga, you drop. Get the fuck on out of here. So, like, not because an artist doesn't sell like a million doesn't mean that they're not profitable. I think that's
the biggest misconception.
Yeah, it's really like some artists, they don't even have that much of a overhead, or their budget isn't that crazy. So them doing mediocre shit, and most of these niggas in 360s too, man.
Right.
So like, yo, all right, nigga, there's mad artists. I know it's for a fact. Yeah, we can't probably sell a fucking CD, and they don't sell CDs anymore really, but we can't fucking get a stream of your music popping, but We could get you some brand deals. We could get you in some little Nike
Called
campaigns.
ancillary income.
And we about to take our 10 to 15% off the top. And to keep it real, that's about to be.
So when if a label is shelving an album, right? You don't straight up an artist. You don't straight up drop them from the label. Are you just stalling until you can figure out some other way to make money to get your money back before you drop them?
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes, I think shelving artists, it comes with a lot of different things because we always, the artist is always right. They're the most popular person, so nobody's gonna see. The label's not gonna come out and put a press release saying, "Yo, this motherfucker did all this dumb shit." We're not in a good business relationship with them. That's why we're not dropping their stuff. So, I think a lot of times when artists get shelved, it's for them to kind of figure out. And you got to make records. Like end of the day, the record business is just that. Make records that can sell. If you can't make records that sell, no matter what your demo is, like you have artists who, like Young M.A., right? Young M.A., I didn't like the flack she was getting for, which did she do Act Ultimate, like 27?
Yeah.
27,000 sold the first week. She's fronting all the costs herself. Her and her production company are fronting the cost. Do the math. The amount of records that they sold as opposed to what they probably paid to do their project, I don't think they spent a lot. They spending not spending like cheap, but they're spending a nice minimal amount to maximize on 27,000 sold. It's motherfuckers that got $1 million deals that can't sell 27,000 the first week.
Sure.
So I think sometimes when you hold an artist, it's just like, all right, let's just regroup. Let's regroup because a lot of artists think that they shit is the best shit, and a lot of times they're wrong.
And then also like as a label, like the artist got to worry about timing. Like they want to drop
timing.
Like you can't just go missing for 2 years. Your career done.
Yeah.
Like I think Uzi's one of the only niggas who could not put out music for a good while. Him and Wayne did it too.
Yeah.
And kind of play that waiting game. Most labels would be like, okay, so just kill your buzz. We'll work on some other shit. And whenever you want to get hot again, you're still gonna be the same goddamn contract. And then if you're still unhappy with us, we're gonna sell that motherfucker to somebody else.
Right.
It's like shelving somebody sometimes is a better option than dropping them when you've already paid out the money to them.
Yeah.
And you're realizing it's just not at the point of you recouping. But maybe that artist heats up that somebody else could take that bill off your hand.
A lot of artists think they're ready when they're not. Right. That's another big part of the conversation. A lot of artists, while they might spend some time in the studio and create a project that they feel as though this is just my art, I want to get it out, it might not really be able. You got to remember, being in the record business, you got to compete. You know what I mean? It's a competitive thing. We talk about these charts, top 40, hot 100, top 200, all of that. If you want to be in that space, you got to be able to compete. And I think a lot of them just using their own ear and not looking at what they're up against lead them to say, oh, they not fucking with me or they doing me dirty. It might be the case in some cases, but other times you might not be ready to go out there. And you don't want to get thrown to the wolves.
A wise man, very high up in the music business, once told me this. And he said, Ak, if you ever think about signing artists, never take it too personal. Business is business. And the second thing he told me, he said, you get one nigga who actually hits, it'll pay for the rest of the 10 niggas who bums.
Right.
Okay? And that's the facts.
That's
you know what I mean?
fact,
So
right.
One nigga who's really good pays for the rest of the niggas who flopping.
And there we have it from the Superhero Act.
No, that's from the Oracle.
The Oracle.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it real quick with a little label update. This is about Tyga. So he signed a new deal with Columbia Records, reportedly a multi-million-dollar deal. We just don't know how many dollars. So he dropped an album recently, but the last time he was on a major was in 2015. We know things didn't work out that well for him. Things got a little bit messy, but seems like Tyga's ready for a fresh start.
Hey, salute to Tyga. He's another one with a 10+ year career. You know what I mean? Like weathering the storm. For real, like weathering the storm, but salute to Tyga, that's dope.
He did it right. He really built up momentum independently, did the right moves. People were rooting for him, and he finally cashed out, got the big check. Now it's what will a major bring to his situation, and will they allow him to be him? So, I'm rooting for Tyga. I'm always rooting for Tyga, and the pettiness he threw towards Travis Scott, I loved it. So, good job.
Thank you, Akademiks.
Shout out to Tyga.
He was catching to his L's. Now he's winning. I like seeing him win.
It's the circle of life, you know? Guys, thank you for sending your fan questions. Keep sending those. We're on Twitter at EverydayStrugg with 2 G's. Send us some videos. We want to see your faces, please. Thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.